this colour, I thought was just like a seam colour, but actually it's not seam opal because you got colour here as well. Can you see there? Let's zoom in a little bit for you. I mean, it is just fantastic colours, and there's no, I haven't edited this video in any way, but it's rainbow, and it is flashing and changing colours, and it is all over this 200 carat stone. This is just one side here, folks. There's also quite a lot of colour on this end piece here, can you see? So this just has a bunch of red, and it's beautiful dark boulder opal. It is a strange shape. It's like this weird triangular shape. So I think for most cabin opal cutters and rubbers, like, they wouldn't be able to do much with this because they would basically they'd probably just rub this off, you know, in a cabbing machine. It'd just be like shh, and they just get rid of all the colour. So I don't think it works for those guys, which is probably how I've been able to acquire this stone for so cheap. This was part of a parcel for less than $100, and I just think it's bloody outstanding. I think this can make a stone right here. So as I said, there's colour on the seam, on the edges, you know, enormous colour. And then if we flip it over and we just remember that space there on the side, you got all the rainbow colours on the side there. You can see red, yellow, green, blue, purple, etc. And then we go on the back, and you can see, you know, if I mention that kind of curvature there, you can see there's also colour here as well, along this seam, and in parts here, you see where my finger is right there. So it is just banging. This stone is the best stone I've ever seen. So that could make some kind of crazy, like, multicoloured pendant. Then I think you've got a stone in the edges here. I think there's loads of bands of colour here, as you can see going round. You know, you've got a bunch of multicolour there. You see, and this seam continues. And if we did take that as a kind of like as a pendant, it might leave a bit extra here. If we turn it around that way, so I think that could be a stone there. I think there's a bit here extra. This would be a pendant, and then we've got the remainder over here. And you can see, look at that shining bright red, orange. You don't often see orange, but that's bright neon orange right there. And it flashes, you know, it goes green and blue and whatever. So I think we've got potential for 3 different stones here. Admittedly, the shape is weird, but if you think about that being a pendant, that's absolutely fine for being a pendant. This could end up being, depending on how much colour is there, it can end up, we could slice it in lots of different ways. It might end up being a ring stone, maybe. It's also a Koroit nut pan, so which is quite rare, especially to have, you know, pinks and reds in it. It's very nice. And look at the multicolours on this side as well. It's a bit kind of bouldery. It doesn't look like there's a Koroit nut pattern on this side, but it's just, I'm just blown away with this stone. And this is just what you guys are seeing. In the glasses with more light, you can actually see even more colour than this. So we're going to do some really light rubbing on this. We're not going to go crazy with like, yeah, we're going to go quite light with it. So let me just find the appropriate grade. I've actually got 3000 here. I'm actually fine with going 3000 on this. We've worked this side, or I've worked this side last night. So I wanted to just work the reverse, just to see kind of how else we're faring. I'm going to put on some gloves here. Where did I put my gloves? There they are. Whoopsies. This was definitely like the best like stone in the parcel. The rest is a bit variable. There is another large stone which looks like it's got colour in it, and there's a bunch of small stones which are a little bit harder to work, but this is what I'm focusing on. This one is definitely the most exciting. I think it's potentially more exciting than some of the other stones I've got on the channel and in my collection. Yeah, just I suppose for the size of it, but also it's demonstrating that it's like not just boulder matrix opal or seam opal. It looks like it's opening up in the face, or the various faces of this stone. So, you know, it is emerging kind of everywhere, the colour. So it's really quite exciting. This is why I wanted just to take a quick look. I mean, I'm using 3000 grit here, but even that, I've just exposed a bunch of red in this corner. I don't know if you can see that. There's just a bunch of red that's just been exposed just by using this 3000 grit. Now, you wouldn't be able to do this very carefully with you know, with saws and wheels. You'd probably just get rid of the colour, you know, before you've even started. But look at that red that's emerging in this corner. Wow, that is just fantastic. And it's above the pendant. We talked about the pendant being kind of coming over here, and so this could be like its own stone. It's going to be really hard to decide if we keep discovering more and more colour, especially if it's this bright orangey red on this dark black opal, boulder opal. It might become quite hard to decide what to do with this, and it might be better. There's a potential to keep this as a very large specimen, and if there is colour kind of throughout it, maybe some collectors might be interested in this, a higher price point potentially. At the moment, as it stands, I'm kind of in favour of slicing this into different components, but because I'm being very careful with this higher grit and kind of sandpaper approach, I can take my time with making decisions, and I'm in kind of no major rush, if you like. You know, the world kind of opens up when you open up the opal, and you can take a bit more time. We were working this side of the stone, and look at that. That's amazing. Just amazing. Just opening it up, and in every area more and more colour is emerging. So this is what I was really hoping for, that there was going to be opal kind of in this face, and guess what, there is. You know, it's not just on the seams, it's in the face of this. So this could end up being just spectacular. This could end up facing all over this and be just a outstanding pendant. And we were just working this area just to see if there was any colour, and we found really bright reds and pinks. So that to me looks like gem quality brightness, to be honest. It's outstanding. So just every time I touch this stone, it just seems to be getting sort of better and better, which is, you know, I'm happy with. I suppose if you have one of these every time you spend money, even if you're spending, you know, 500 quid on a parcel or $500, and you get something like this, I think you're going to be happy every day of the week. You know, you're going to be banking something. And like, this is just, you know, every time I turn it over to a different side, and I'm just looking, you know, it's just insane. And even more seams are open up here. There's a red seam going through that's opening up as I carefully sand this. Notice I'm not going crazy by, you know, pushing hard on this. I'm actually choosing exactly where to go, because it's, you know, this is a careful job. And look, we've opened up another red line here. It's a bit hard to see, but we've opened up another seam which has got red and orange in it. There we go. It's a bit thinner, but it doesn't matter if the brightness is there. Yeah, and we've opened up this red orange bit in the top corner, which I'm happy with. I sort of thought it was just clay in the top left, but, you know, as I've been working away at rubbing this, more and more colour has emerged. And as you can see, it's the full rainbow in this top section as well. And likewise, when we flip it over, it runs through because it's on this side as well, with pretty much a full spectrum. I haven't worked this side, actually. Maybe I should work this side a bit, a fraction more, get it a bit wet. Yeah, you can see the red shining through right there. See if we can give this bad boy a facelift, and see if we can get it to shine. You know, the colour's so bright. I'm not even using my glasses here. I'm just using my regular eyesight, and you can just see, you know, how much colour there is here. It's beautiful. I'm so happy with I've done this on camera just now, you know, exposing this orange and red section. I mean, that's a ringstone. I think if that continues, just this area here. I mean, obviously rings aren't that big, so you don't need a huge one, but I think there's a ringstone right there, multicoloured flash, beautiful. So there could be more than 3 stones here. You could have quite a bit more. But we'll just continue, keep going, and see where we end up. I'm really glad that I'm doing this by hand, to be honest. I just feels the right thing to do. I'm not having to go particularly deep, and then I'm exposing, you know, quite a lot of colour, so I don't mind if it's a little bit slower. I'm learning much more about the Opal doing it this way. I mean, I'm new to Opal, but I do feel like I'm learning what to look for. I'm spotting kind of parcels with value, like this parcel that I got a week or two ago. And you know, I'm not sure I'm always going to get you know, this sort of result. Well, it's not a result at the moment, is it? It's just potential result. But I mean, the signs are pretty strong, to be honest, that this is going to work out. Let's see if we can expose any more of this face, and hopefully we see it face up, and you know, there isn't sand or crap in it. But it does look to be fairly strong ironstone here, so I'd be quite surprised, and you know, I'd be very disappointed if there was sand in this, because it doesn't look to me like there would be. I mean, maybe yeah, on this side it's more clay sandy, so I wouldn't be surprised if there was more sand there, but you know, on this side maybe not. So let's see if we've exposed any more colour. Yeah, there's some greens and blues there. Oh yeah, reds. It's starting to disco there, so let's see if we can chase this rainbow anymore and get the lights popping. Oh yeah, you can see that neon yellowy green. Oh yeah, that's looking great. You see, I'm using a very sensitive grit here, and it's coming out pretty quickly, so another reason not to go crazy with this stone, because it could all just disappear, you know? And I'm sure if anyone's watching this and they've been involved in rubbing or cutting opal, they might have had the experience of going a bit quickly and a bit too aggressively, you know, and then suddenly it all goes. And I just want to avoid that. I've met some opal cutting friends recently, and they'd all said how they'd had good stones and then they'd wasted them by going a bit too quickly. So this is why I take a careful approach. Yes, it takes many more hours, and I probably will get mechanised at some point, probably with all the all the machinery and equipment that is necessary. But you know, right now I'm feeling okay with doing it the way I'm doing it. I don't feel disappointed, or I don't feel like I need to go any quicker. I did have the interview with Meta for work. You know, this isn't my work, this is my hobby. And it went very well. So I did used to work for WhatsApp and for Meta. And, you know, I think that would be a dream to go back. So I'm really hoping that I can get back to Meta. And I might, in a way, how's that going to impact, you know, this channel and this hobby that I'm doing? Well, I'll have less time. So, you know, I'm sort of in between things at the moment. So I'm able to concentrate this and, you know, take my time and do this in a, you know, methodical way. But, you know, I might not be able to have that time, you know, if I start working for Meta again. So, you know, that might be the time where I start to think about going into mechanising a bit more. I'm seeing, you know, I'm working on this area and I'm seeing exactly what I want to see, which is more and more disco lights kind of appearing in the stone. So that's just giving me more and more confidence this would be a fantastic pendant. So this has worked out really well for me so far. If we just zoom in a little bit, or I'm actually not zooming in, I'm just moving close to the camera. You can see there's a lot of colour that's emerged, even more on the sides as well. And look at that roll, pretty beautiful. And there's you know, there's red in the face and lots of colour, so that's, you know, I'm really happy with that. And there's red on this side. Look at the bursting red on that side. It's fantastic. And then we've exposed more in this top left-hand corner as well, you know, which I'm happy with. And on this side as well, the bursting red on the top left corner that we worked in this video. You've seen this live. So it's one take video. So there we go. And yeah, the thesis with this stone is still strong. You know, for this pendant potentially here. For maybe a ring stone in various areas, like there, maybe there, various areas of this stone, maybe a Koroit nut pendant or something like that necklace. Might be able to create earrings, you know, from this as well. There's so many areas of colour. You might be able to, you know, maybe Koroit nut colourful earrings, maybe potentially. I haven't worked on this, but you can see there's red and green poking through here. You see red, green flash, red, green, pink, green flash in this Koroit nut pattern right here. So there's definitely colour, you know, in this. And you can see there yellow and red as I roll this, yellow and red there. There we go. Yeah, and green. So, and around here on the back, bunch of red, fiery red. Look at that, and orange. And a bit of gold. So this, you know, this would likely, we might be able to split that into two thin, beautifully colourful earrings potentially. So there's a lot of potential here. The best way to follow the journey of this particular rock, is to like the video and subscribe. Because we'll be doing this in kind of chapters, if you like. I need to name this stone. I think I might call it the Rainbow Mountain Stone, because that's kind of what it appears to be. Or the Rainbow Cliff Stone, maybe that's probably better. I'll call it the Rainbow Mountain Stone, and then you can search my channel for Rainbow Mountain Stone, and you'll be able to see. I might even create a playlist. I think this stone is kind of such a strong contender. So many areas where it could work out, you know, even if it doesn't work out here because of sand or whatever, you know, there's still areas on the ridges on both sides, and of course this Koroit nut pattern. So there's so much potential with it. If you want to continue to see me chase the rainbow, then like and subscribe, and yeah, and I'll see you in the next video. I will just keep turning this stone for 20 seconds because it's kind of just so beautiful, isn't it? Yeah, we opened up a small colour here now. You can sort of see that. That's what we've opened up in this video, that orange and red. We've opened that bad boy up, and here as well we opened up in this very video. We haven't worked too much on this pattern over here, but as I said, I think there's going to be loads of potential here with, you know, fire bursting reds and pinks, and yeah, it's just fantastic. I love this stone. It's not really a cabba's grinders kind of stone. I think they would really not like this because you'd end up just grinding away all the colour. But if you're willing to put in the work, which, you know, this might be a 10 to 20 hour piece of work for me, you know, certainly with the method that I'm using, I don't mind that. I think there's a significant amount of value here, and I'm really enjoying it. You can see just, you know, it's only a very light rub, and you know, look at what we're finding already. Pretty amazing, really. If you think about it. So, yeah. All right. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and see you in the next one.